Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in. Because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome to the world we know. I'm Greg Lamont. Get ready for some good shit today. We got a big day. It's fight night. We got a crazy ass weekend. And yeah, sit back, spark up, sip, and get ready for some good topics we're about to get into. But yeah, topic number one, the fucking elephant in the room. Tonight is fight night. Make sure everybody, whatever you're doing, tap in tonight from 8:30 to what's good, baby. Tap in from 8:30 to 11:45, 12ish. They're gonna have the main cards, 3 fights. The number one fight is Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. It's gonna be a huge fight. This fight's big for many different reasons. One, it will be the biggest watch fight since Muhammad Ali versus Sphinx, because that fight, 1978, had 90 million viewers live. The reason that fight had 90 million viewers live is because they used to stream your fights right to the television. You just tap in, click the channel, you could watch it. After that fight became pay-per-view, and the concept of pay-per-view, which, while yes, it brought in a lot of money, not necessarily more money, but it brought in a lot of money, it also had its negative effects because it dropped the fan base of boxing, because not everybody wants to throw money to watch an event. Like most sports, you don't do that shit. So it's an exception. But the largest watch fight since the Muhammad Ali Sphinx fight in the pay-per-view model is Mayweather versus Pacquiao, and the number 2 is Mayweather versus McGregor. And they also have the largest gate of any fight ever. And yeah, this fight's going to be big because it's on Netflix. It's probably going to have about 65, 70 million or 70 million thousand, whatever it is, live viewers. So yeah, tap in tonight. Make sure y'all tap in. It's going to be historic also because Terrence Crawford, who's the fighter I got, who's an underdog, he's stepping up 3 weight divisions to fight Canelo Alvarez, who's the undisputed champion at 168. Terrence Crawford is the first and only ever 2-division undisputed champion. He did it in 140, and he did it in 147, which means you take all the belts, all the champions' belts, and you unify them. If he beats Canelo Alvarez tonight, he will be the first ever male, because Clarissa Shields did it as a female, but the first ever male 3-division undisputed champion. And hell yeah, he said Crawford from my city. That's what's up, bro. I got Crawford all day, so I hope you got Crawford. If he's from your city, you better have Crawford. She said, who do you think will win and why? I know Crawford will win. Well, it's going to be a close-ass fight because Canelo Alvarez is a GOAT. He's probably the best Mexican fighter ever. And Terrence Crawford, fuck, this shit ain't doing shit. Terrence Crawford is the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. He's really fucking good. Number 1 pound for pound. The weight evens the playing field. I got Terrence Crawford. I think he's going to outbox him. Here's the thing. If Terrence Crawford doesn't have his power, if he doesn't have his speed, well, he's going to have his power. If he doesn't have his speed and he doesn't have his feet, he's fucked. And he got to have durability. But as long as he has those 3 things, I have him gassing out Canelo and then round 10 knocking him out. That's my prediction. A round 10 knockout by Terrence Crawford. If it goes all the way, Terrence Crawford's winning. Canelo's not winning it if it goes a distance because Terrence is the better boxer for sure. But it's going to be a good fucking fight because they both got something to lose. They both got egos. And you don't want to miss it. Be there. Be there, be square. Who are they fighting next? So before the pod started, I was thinking to myself, who are these 2 niggas going to fight next? Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, right? Because they're 38. Terrence Crawford's 38-year-old Canelo Alvarez is a 36-year-old. He said, "Oh yeah, and Crawford fights everyone and is tuned in Omaha." Yeah, facts, bro. I was watching Terrence Crawford's like episodes for the build up, and I learned I've been following him since I'm not gonna lie, since the Errol Spence fight, the build up to that I followed him, but I didn't know he stayed in his hometown, never left his hometown. He has the same coach he had when he started boxing. Like, he's a real humble dude. I fuck with it. But yeah, Canelo Alvarez is 36-year-old. Terrence Crawford is 38. Canelo Alvarez is, yes, he's younger, but he's also older boxing wise. Because you got to think about it. This will be Canelo Alvarez's 70th fight of his entire career. His record 65 wins, 2 losses to Floyd and Bivol, and 2 draws. He's never been knocked down in his career. But he went pro at 15, so like he's gonna have a lot more mileage. I think that Terrence Crawford is gonna. I think he's just gonna have more youth in this fight, even though he's older. But who do I think they're gonna fight next? I think there's a big chance that if Terrence Crawford loses tonight, he retires. He's done. He's cooked. He's done. Only reason he wouldn't be done is if he got offered 50 M's or 100 M's to fight Boots or some shit. But if he loses tonight, he's retiring. Because only reason I say that is because if you follow his camp, he's been talking way too much, and his people have been talking way too much about retirement. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm sparking this thing a million times, but I'll get you a new one if you need. But yeah, nah. So I think there's a big chance he retires. While on the other hand, Canelo Alvarez, he's been asked about retirement multiple times, and he said, "No, I love this. I want to keep doing it." I think if Terrence wins, his next fight is Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis was mandatory last year, and he didn't fight him because he was getting ready for this fight. But that's going to be a good fight. Boots Ennis is a Philly fighter. He's on his way to be a legend if he gets the right fights. But he has 32 wins. Might be 33 now, but it's 32 wins and 31 knockouts. And he's a switch hitter just like Crawford. Like, he's a fucking dog. But he's actually the person who Canelo sparred to get ready for this fight too. So I want to see him fight him to be like, yo, Canelo, you sparred this nigga thinking he's me. Yeah, he's like a 15-year younger version of me, but he ain't me. But and then for Canelo, everybody in the world who follows boxing even a little bit wants Canelo to fight Benavidez. He needs to fight David Benavidez. David Benavidez has been Canelo's mandatory, which means you need to fight him whenever you're a champion and you hold a belt. You have a mandatory. You have to fight every year. They give you one. He was Canelo's mandatory for at least 2 years. It may have been 3, but I believe it was 2 years. And Canelo ducked him each year. And then he lost his belt, got it back. But, yeah, I think he needs to fight him. I would say Crawford should fight him, but this is Crawford's first time at 168. So that boy, I don't know. He might be a little gassed at this weight. We're going to find out, though. But, yeah. Fuck yeah. And more fight news. Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, how you feel about Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather when you heard that shit?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No, are they really about to fight?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, it was announced like a week and a half ago, and they both posted it on their own pages.
See, here's my problem now is I don't know how serious Mike's gonna take it.
Right, or Floyd. Like, cause Floyd's
I'm
a.
gonna keep it real with you though. It ain't gonna matter how serious Floyd takes it.
Right.
just being honest, weight difference and experience, they're both just almost as experienced. Weight difference, Tyson just outclasses him.
Yeah, I agree.
If Tyson takes it serious, he's knocking him the fuck out.
You think?
Bro, he can stand like this. All he wants to block and punches. Tyson's gonna hit so
Bam!
hard.
Yeah, facts. Tyson just gotta walk up to him and hit him. That's it for real.
He takes it serious and just but he's gonna fucking ruin him.
And
but if he don't Floyd's fast enough,
Yeah.
and tall enough, he could get in there and give him some good body shots.
Well, that's the so like you know that they had like somewhat bad blood like 8ish years ago. Well, like so, this is the version of Tyson that I would have wanted to fight Floyd. About 8ish years ago, whenever Mike was still somewhat like cut and ripped and shit, somebody asked him. I think he was out at a club or some shit. They were like, "Do you think Floyd Mayweather is the greatest of all time?" Blah blah. He's like, "No, he's a scared little man." Blah blah blah. You may have seen that clip. I'm about to show you. Mike
Oh yeah.
Mike Tyson scared. Yeah, and he also said he's just not better than Ali and shit. But if you look at how cut he is in this clip, look, this is the Tyson that I would have wanted. Like that Tyson, you want to come take this? That Tyson still has some killer in him. I would have wanted them to fight then, because Floyd was just at the tail end of his career. He was like Conor McGregor fight. So, but I think now there's just
One thing I always felt about Floyd, his accolades 100% speak for themselves in the sense that, and here comes the big revelation that nobody ever likes to hear, but it's the truth. They speak for themselves in the sense that on a scorecard and by points, he's the greatest. Back then, boxers didn't try to point farm.
Facts.
You know what I mean? They weren't in the ring point farming so that they could win. It was, I want to take you out and you want to take me out.
Gladiators.
If
Yeah.
it by chance comes down to points,
Yeah.
it's going to be because who actually beat the shit out of who.
Right.
Most,
Facts.
not how many good blocks.
Right. Facts. I agree.
Like, okay, cool. You hit me in the gut 12 times, so you got 12 hits. But every one of them was like a fucking pillow. You know what I mean? It's like they're not on the same class at all. Back
Right.
then, these motherfuckers really fought.
Yeah, like the Sugar Ray Leonards, the Haglers, like all of them. Like I agree, and that
they would beat the shit out of him.
exactly, and that's why I love this fight so much with Terrence Crawford and Canelo, because they're both that type of fighter. Like Terrence Crawford, I don't know if you know, but he was he was in negotiation, and like not too long after like the Mayweather Pacquiao, he was in negotiation with Pacquiao, and it fell through, and then Pacquiao fought somebody, and the person beat Pacquiao, and the person who beat Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford, went and knocked him out, like to make a statement. But Terrence Crawford, most of his career, like he came up with that generation of the Floyds, the Canelos, and them, but he was ducked in his weight classes and shit. So he's never been a superstar name. You know what I mean? Like I heard, you know Shakur Stevenson? I heard him make a really good point. I was listening to an interview a couple days ago throughout this campaign and shit, and he was like, people talk about, he's never fought somebody or shit like this. That they say like the people he fought isn't somebody. And we're talking about in boxing in general. And he's saying, but they don't realize whenever you're a Tank Davis, whenever you're a Canelo Alvarez, whenever you're these guys, like we're all fighting world class people, but like Tank will fight a Pit Bull Cruz. Nobody knows about him, but after he fights him, now he's a big name. So now he's credited as, oh, he fought a big name. Canelo will fight all these people, Cotto, Billy Sanders, like all these people, and they were nobodies, but after you fight them, they're a big name. But whenever you talk about people like a Shakur,
I argued the whole Jake Paul, Logan Paul, like them all trying to fight and do this and that, because it's like, y'all, the only reason y'all motherfuckers can
Right.
fight against the people you're fighting against is because of your name.
Yeah.
You did not go through the way that you're supposed to in the boxing league and do
Facts.
all your amateur fights and do this and you know what I mean? You didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say you're not good, but that doesn't change the fact that you're not supposed to be where you are.
I agree. There's something that I think is really big that is another reason why this fight's history. So, do you know Max Kellerman? He was like the ESPN analyst. He's cool as fuck.
I feel
Like
I've heard the name.
you'll see him tonight on the thing, and you'll remember him. But so him him and Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh. I don't know if you know Turki Al-Sheikh. He's a Saudi Arabian, like he's part of royalty, and he's pretty much came in boxing over the past 3 years and changed the game because, so I'm gonna break something down real quick. So Turki Al-Sheikh came into boxing a couple years ago, and what he did was in boxing you have your promotion companies like the TBEs, the PBC, the Golden Boy Production, shit like that. And these productions, like they have their stars underneath their thing, right? But they're not gonna fight another promotion company unless they're offering good money. You know what I mean? It was a money game, and if they're not getting the money, we'll just fight one of our own fighters and keep the money inside. You know what I mean? So we weren't getting the fights, and people were being ducked. Turki Al-Sheikh came in, and with Riyadh season, he started paying fighters big money. Like tonight's fight, Canelo Alvarez's take home guarantee is 150 million. Terrence Crawford's 50 million, and he's making all the fights that need to happen. Like Usyk versus Fury, that fight would have never.
That's what we needed is one main promoter or
Yeah,
one main guy that's
but
willing to put
exactly.
because you'll
But
pay it back.
well, he said he hasn't made. He's lost money on all of his fights, but what's good, buddy? But so here's what I'm getting at. This is dope as fuck. So they're talking about the same way that there's an NBA, a UFC, MLB, like these places have like your Adam Silver, your Dana White, things like this. Dana White, Turki Al-Sheikh, and this GM dude are talking about making their own like boxing league where that's similar to the UFC. Like if you're able to make it in, you get enough money to live. Like they were saying, people say UFC fighters make less than boxers, but that's only like 4 or 5 boxers. The rest of the boxers are like have day jobs or they're getting crumbs. You know what I mean? So they're talking about making boxing its own actual establishment and having a like like a guy like the same way that there's Dana White.
Yeah.
But do I'm just saying, do you think that'd be good for the sport, or do you think that would diminish the sport?
It really, honestly, like shit like that. I always think it's gonna. I feel like in the beginning, everything and anything will help.
Right.
It all comes down to in like the near future after it being established, how does it get ran?
Facts.
Because like, let's look at it this way. Um, I know me and you don't have that big of an age gap, but I'm not sure if
Right.
you're really paying attention at this point in time. Do you remember the XFL?
Is that like a NFL type thing,
So
or?
it was a football
Yeah,
league
I've heard of it.
that Vince McMahon created.
Okay.
He was one of the like main people in it,
Yeah.
and it was the extreme football league. It was like, bro, motherfuckers were for real, just like flat out rock bottoming motherfuckers on the field. Like, if you could pull it off, you could do whatever, virtually. Um, but back then, we were right at the cusp of in football all the rules changing with like people getting hit, getting hurt, this and that. It was starting to become more prominent,
Mhm.
and so they kind of like just had the league start at the wrong time, and they weren't trying to like if they would have went and got bigger insurance policies and shit for their players to where their players felt more secure if something happened,
Mhm.
they would have still thrived.
Right.
But
They didn't have the means.
they either that or they weren't interested in putting out more money for it.
Right.
But with all the rules changing in the NFL, that makes it
Less competitive.
well. Not just that. If the NFL is putting out these rules, then to some extent, your league is gonna have to follow it too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Because that's like that's like a standard. At
Yeah.
that point.
Right.
And so a lot of the shit that they were doing, the reason why it was the extreme football league didn't exist no more. So it just fell through. So like
Damn.
there are cool dope ass ideas that could
Yeah.
work amazingly.
I agree with that, but the only difference that I think there is that with that, like you said, the NFL is the standard setter. You know what I mean? Where that they wouldn't be able to
I
thrive.
was just using that as an example.
Yeah.
I would think in first, everyone's getting paid good, and everyone's like making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do, and then slowly over time, maybe somehow the pay-per-view events and shit start getting pirated, so like some money ain't coming in like it should, and next thing you know, fighters will still get paid how they should, but now it's this is how much you're gonna get paid, and this is a promotion bonus if you bring in this many people or this or that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now it becomes like, all right, you just defeated the whole purpose of what you were creating this place for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel you. I agree. I think that there's a big chance that it will fail, and Dana White even admitted that. But I just feel like boxing, if you look at it over the past 7 years, it's been like dying. You know what I mean?
And it's because, honestly, it's because of MMA.
Yeah, but it's been coming back to life as well. Like the past 2 years, there have been such good fights in boxing, and it's been being revived. And that's just because the industry got shaken up.
There's more people that want to put their heart into it, but there's less people interested in watching those people pour their hearts out. You mean like 100%? There are more amazing fighters coming into boxing right now than I don't want to say ever before, but
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
In a good time. Wow.
There's a good flock of fighters. I mean,
Average viewer, if like let's say hypothetically you only had enough money in your budget for one pay-per-view this month, you gonna get the UFC before you can get the boxing.
right, but here's the thing though. If you go back 20 years, like UFC was trying to take, like UFC was the underdog, and they were building up.
Yeah, but that wasn't because of and that's the messed up world we live in today. Where back in the day, people didn't like UFC because it was too brutal. Nowadays, society thrives on brutality.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Everything we watch on TV.
Yeah.
Most of it's brutal. Look at the music.
We're desensitized as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, everything. It's
I agree.
different from back then till now.
Facts.
Back then, people hated UFC because all they seen was people getting broken orbital bones and blood everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they look like monsters.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
No.
they're like, yeah, beat his fucking head in. So.
Yeah, you got Trump going to fucking UFC shows sitting front and center, like the president of the U.S. at a show. But
Yeah, so it's just like a different time. You know what I mean? We're gonna have.
yo,
Attention to boxing.
Terrio talking about Canelo beating the dog shit out of dude. Yeah, so yeah, me and Terrio got different people. I got Crawford. He used to be Team Crawford every fight before this fight. He's Team Canelo now. I mean, Canelo he's definitely has the better chance because this is his weight. Like, he's comfortable at this weight. He's fought at this weight for a long ass fucking time.
How many weight classes did
Terrence?
you jump?
So, like, okay, so Terrence Crawford started his career at 135, and his whenever he fought Errol Spence a couple years ago, that was at 147. That's where his last like 7-ish fights were at that time, and then he fought one more fight before this one at 154. He fought a dude named Madrimov, who's a real tricky ass fighter. So technically, he's jumping 3 weight classes from 147, where he was undisputed, to 168.
What's the weight class he's fighting in tonight?
168.
Okay, so he's going realistically. He's going from 155 to 168 because he did fight a 155.
Yeah.
So
Right. He dipped his toe in 154, and now he's at 168. Canelo Alvarez started his career at I believe it was either 147 or 154. It might have been 147.
naturally bigger frame.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, if you look at, I mean, we can pull up like the face offs and shit before the fight. But if you look at it, like, so Terrence Crawford's 5'8", Canelo Alvarez is 5'7" or 5'6". Terrence has the bigger reach, but he's also like he is the bigger dude technically if you look at them next to each other. But Canelo's more settled into the.
I was gonna say the problem with that is Terrence ain't used to throwing that much weight around.
Exactly.
Potentially could get gassed quick.
Right. Terrence's walk around weight is 180. Canelo's walk around weight's about the same, like 185 ish.
Wait, so
but
his walk around weight's 180
140 something. But a lot of fighters drain themselves and go.
Yeah, they cut and everything to make weight.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Like Tank Davis, he said that he walks around at like 150, 155 whenever he's not fighting, but he fights at 135.
Yeah, but that's not that big of a stretch. 180 to 145 is a fucking stretch, bro.
I don't think so. I mean,
35 pounds.
fighters inflate like 20 pounds on fight nights. Like whenever.
Yeah, but that's due to dehydration and then rehydrating themselves.
Right.
That's how they cut for weight and shit.
Nah, I mean I definitely believe it. If you just look at Bud's frame, Bud's Terrence Crawford's name, like nickname. If you look at his frame, he's just naturally bigger. He plus whenever he last fought at 147, him and Errol both said that they were starting to struggle to make the weight class. Like they were growing out of it. But yeah. Either way, Canelo is the naturally bigger fighter. And Canelo's fought bigger dudes his whole career, so it doesn't really matter if Terrence is bigger or not. Because Canelo.
Now, I think this fight's going to come more down to not necessarily who's bigger. It's going to come down to like if dude's able to just withstand
Yeah.
the stamina,
Yeah.
the power.
Right.
Yeah, it's like
But I can't wait. I've been waiting on this fight for 2 fucking years. T will tell you. Like Bud's a dog. They're both dogs, but Bud's more of a dog. Bud's more has more of a boxing IQ as well. But Canelo they've both never been knocked down, but Canelo has an iron chin. If you've ever seen Canelo versus Golovkin or anything like that, they fought 36 rounds. Golovkin's known for putting people down. So is Canelo. Both of them went like fucking gladiators, head spinning, snapping back, all fucking fight. Canelo doesn't like. He's never been phased really. He's been beaten by Floyd Mayweather and Bivol, but nobody can really knock him out. So if Terrence knocks him out, that's a big statement. But yeah, make sure y'all tune in every Friday at 2:30. We have The World We Know. Every Friday at 6 p.m. we got Stash Spots. And every Saturday at 8 p.m. we got Marley State of Mind. Make sure to be there. But yeah, on to the next big elephant in the room that I want to at least say something about or touch on is the Charlie Kirk assassination. R.I.P. Charlie. R.I.P. That shit's crazy as fuck. The shot seen around the globe. Charlie Kirk was, I mean, I didn't really follow him I've seen clips and shit of him, and I know that he was the first person I ever seen go up to like a campus or anywhere and have a mic and be like, yo, debate me and let's have a civil debate. I'm not gonna argue and scream with you. We're just gonna go back and forth. And Charlie had a company called Turning Point USA, and Turning Point USA is a big reason. I'd say it's at least 4 to 5% of the reason why Trump got the vote he did. He became president, and Charlie himself had a show, the Charlie Kirk Show, and had a passion, a love, a desire for politics, and I believe that he had a future of possibly being a president, if not after the next election, then after Vance gets out or some shit like that. But yeah, I just think it's wild. It's really sad because he was shot right in front of his 2 little girls and his wife, so that image is never gonna leave their head. And yeah, they took in 3 suspects. They took in one, an old man who was there, and I don't even know why they would think it was that nigga. Like, be real. You're telling me he just shot nigga. Mind you, Charlie was wearing a bulletproof vest. He wears it to his events, and you could see it that whenever he's leaning on his chair, he had a vest. The shot had to be perfect. Right to the throat. It's fucking crazy. But, yeah, rest in peace, Charlie. His wife came out with a 30-minute video yesterday memorializing him, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I feel like all this weird shit happened in the train event, the Charlie Kirk, D.C. being federalized. Now other states are probably going to be federalized, like we're leading to a civil war if things don't get right. It's just, I don't know, it's pretty freaky for real, for real. But yeah. Will weed be rescheduled next year? The rescheduling of weed been brought up this year a good bit, probably more than ever, really. Last year, there was a planned meeting for it in December, but it ended up getting pushed back in the Biden administration for whatever reason. But yeah, Trump mentioned possibly signing an executive order to reschedule weed. I think that would be big. That would be huge. That would clean a lot of people's records up and change the way a lot of things are seen. So hell yeah, let's get that shit moving. Let's get that shit going. Ice man, Ice man. All right, I got two more topics I'm gonna touch on, and we're gonna cut it early for the night so we get ready for this fight, y'all. But Iceman, episode 3. Episode 3 of Iceman was a boring as fuck, but I mean it was symbolic, and a couple of things that I learned from it. Iceman, as well as the song that dropped, Doghouse. In Iceman, there's a place shown, and it's a place where allegedly Drizzy and Kim K hooked up because they both posted the place at the same time, and there were articles from the business saying that they both stayed there or whatever. But in the song Doghouse, he says, your ex, he was a crash out. And he talks about staying at a place that's a glass house. And mind you, she's building a glass house in, I believe, in California right now. It's like a $55 million project. I don't know. So I think Iceman 3, there's a lot of references in it. Like, there's a scene where there's this place called the Court of Owls. In Batman, there's a thing called the Court of Owls. And apparently, I'm not a big Batman fan, but I learned this through shit. But apparently, the place is where these elites pretty much meet, and somebody sits at the bottom. Yeah. Yeah. And Drake had like a real life version of that in Iceman. Like that, and then he had a scene where he had a table with 4 Pinocchios that showed up and sat there, and a waiter came out and put ice on their plate, and then they wrote in the middle of the table legacy. And from what I've seen, like the breakdowns, they're saying like, I don't remember the exact full breakdown, but apparently the ice was revenge is best served cold or some shit like that, and 4 people plotting, 4 puppets plotting, yada yada yada. But yeah, he also said on the Iceman 3 that at the end of tour, he has shit dropping. Hopefully that shit's the album. But he also posted today that tour is ending in 10 days. So hopefully 10 days we get close to Iceman, because music's low-key poop right now. There's not that one person taking over. But yeah, and then my last question is Tory Lanez, if in a positive trajectory, after release, is Tory Lanez a legend from the situation that he went through? And he already has a really good fucking catalog, and he's probably gonna come out with more fire shit. But is he a legend in the sense of like a?
Honestly, though, it's gonna depend on what his next project is.
But you don't think that the same?
Even after like all the shit he's going through, what he has established so far, in my opinion, doesn't.
You don't think?
No, only because there's a lot of other motherfuckers that have gone through some drama and this and that. The only reason why it's as big as it was as big as it was.
Well,
not just because of his name, but because of who else was all involved.
right,
You
but
know what I mean?
yeah, Rock Nation and shit like that. But you also got to look at what Tory was doing whenever he went in. Like, he was changing the game for independent.
Oh, yeah.
And like, he had a huge. He was on pace to be like the guy. Like he.
But that's why I think that it.
And I'm just saying. So like, I feel like he's already, like, he may not get the same respect, but
If I open up a dispensary.
yeah.
And we sell out in a couple days, but then we get busted and I go to jail forever. Does that make me the greatest dispensary ever? No, because I didn't. The longevity of it wasn't there. So like, while
But
yes, he does have great records and shit. The thing
but
in the long run that would have made him a legend just wasn't held up long enough because of him ending up in the situation he ended up in. So I think it's gonna come down to when he gets out and like starts.
I'm also
shit, what is his
my thing is I'm also looking at if you read between the fine print with his whole situation, is his beef with Rock Nation and Jay-Z and the person who stabbed him, not Jay-Z, Rock Nation put 6 figures on his books. Like there's a whole. My thing is, I feel like Tory Lanez at this point of his career, I personally feel like he has a classic enough catalog where that, and where that he would be at the same point of his career whenever 50 got stabbed, because 50 had some shit, but he didn't have a huge fucking banger catalog.
Whenever he got out or whenever
And then he dropped that album.
and kept going, it solidified it. That's
Right.
why I'm just saying it comes down to what he does.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying, here's the thing, where he's at right now, he is a legend to the people that know those minor details.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then when people know, oh, well, this, you don't really know, bro. Like,
Well,
they had this many.
Yeah,
this and that, like, that makes
yeah.
sense. But to the common public, and that's kind of like, if you're a
But-
legend, you have to make it to where it's like the common public who thinks of you as a legend.
I agree. I think it is based on what happens after he gets out, because I feel like after he gets out, the same way that Drake's even more of, some people hate it, some people love it, but it adds to the legend of him suing UMG. I believe there's going to be like legal fare with, like, shit's going to get exposed with Rock Nation. What he was trying to do before he went in, he's going to start exposing shit. And then I just think that the same way we were just talking about boxing and establishing shit and like the promotion companies, this and that, I feel like the music industry is about to collapse, like the labels and all that. And I think with Drake suing,
Easy for every single industry to be, to some extent, independent or cheaper than what are alternative prior options
yeah,
were and are.
yeah, it's time to
There's
innovate.
a lot of companies that are rat racing to try to figure this out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's time to innovate it. Yeah. Yeah. But fuck yeah, that's another week of The World We Know. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Had some good ass topics. Make sure y'all was here 9 to about 11:30, 11:45. Tune in, smoke up, get ready. Peace.